This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so yesterday you might have seen that yesterday I did discuss about Datadog, and I discussed about three important pillars uh, which we monitor using Datadog. So can you please remind me what was that? Three things which we set it up. So we set up observability. What was that?
This logs and traces.
Yeah. First thing, metrics, right? Metrics from the different sources. You can show infrastructure monitoring. Second thing, log monitoring. And third one is traces of like APM or synthetic, correct? So all this data you combined and become observability. So you can set up observability. So that part is clear. But today I'm using Splunk, and Splunk can be used for all of those as well. Okay, all of those as well. But the context for today's Splunk, which I'm teaching you, is log analysis. Okay, so why I'm teaching you log analysis? The reason is Splunk, see, Datadog was developed for infrastructure analysis earlier. When Datadog came into the market, they were focusing on the infrastructure analysis, and Splunk was focusing on the log analytics. And New Relic, which is the next tool, which was focusing on APM analysis. So they were separate tools for every problems. Now, from last 3-4 years, what they did, they combined all the features in themselves only. That means now you can find every features in Datadog also, every features in Splunk also, and every features in New Relic also. In fact, Grafana and other tools also, which I suggested, you can do that. So now Splunk context will not be observability. Splunk context will be only for log analysis. Understood, all of you? All of you?
Yes, Rajesh.
Yeah. So let's get started. So some of the slides I'll just skip it. Will not complicate because there are too many slides we have. So log analysis will focus today, and that is here. So what is log? What is log? So log means anything you do in the machine, it generates logs. You click on that, it generates logs. You hover into that on application, it generates logs. Application logs, system logs, network logs, IoT logs, biometrics logs, everywhere you see the logs. Okay, so logs is something which is you find everywhere. You can find the IDs, firewall logs, anti-malware logs, proxies log, network infrastructure logs, server logs, database logs, application logs. You see here Linux logs, Windows logs, log files, access logs, file system logs, firewall logs, warning logs, alert logs, IP addresses logs, audit logs, configuration logs, schemas, table, queries, web transactions, and browser and time logs, DevOps logs, event log, code check-in logs, log4j alerts log, test logs alerts, IoT logs, and everything. So everywhere you see that we generate a logs. So now the question is, we understand, okay, there what is logs and what are the sources of logs, but why it's very important, why it's important to analyze the logs. So there are many reasons for it. One is like production monitoring and debugging logs, resource usage logs, HTTP errors logs, slow queries logs. You want to get to know about rogue automated robots, security issues, and stuff like that. You want to track your site visitors, So for that you want log. Situational awareness and new threat discovery, for that you want a logs. Getting more value out of network and security infrastructure, for that you want a log. Extracting what is really actionable automatically, for that we have logs. Measuring security metrics, trends and all, for that we have logs. Compliance and regulations, we have logs. Incident response, we want to do log analysis and all. So various regions we have. For that we do the log analysis. Now what to look for in the logs, so I think I shown you this slides yesterday also. This is just a starting point. What to look for in the logs is like a very vast thing, depends on the project requirement and stuff like that. Yeah, but just choosing this you can get started. So now next thing is, what are the common fields in the logs you'll see. So any logs lines you see, you'll see some of the common fields into it. So what are the common fields you'll get? So every logs you see, lines of logs you see, there's some uniqueness of course will be there, but there's some common fields such as time, source, destination, protocol and all. You'll be having it. Event by attached type and byte exchange and all. So this kind of things will be having it. Now when you want to do the log analysis, what are the best practices for it? So one of the things, like that any tools which you are using for the log analysis, the best practices which you may follow, and the tool should provide it to you, which includes pattern detection and recognitions. That means tool should be very handy to detect the pattern, whether it's Apache logs or Linux log or Windows log. So pattern should be detected, and accordingly based on that it should be analysis. Second thing is a normalization. Normalization means let's say there are two Apache server logs, but this is coming from the two different server. One server means country, geography. So one log of Apache, let's say, is coming from the India server, and one log of Apache is coming from the USA server, and both the logs you have at some platform for log analysis. So tools should provide you to normalize that. So normalize means, see, the India server log will have the timestamp in Indian standard. US will be having US logs will be having the timestamp maybe in PD, PHT and stuff like that. So your tool should normalize these two timestamp and creating a normalization. So creating one format, so it will be easy for you to search and analysis. So that functionality you should be having with the tools. One other feature which we should be having is tagging and classification. That means each line, each logs you and each column in each field, if you tag it, some custom tag like for production environment, this is for daily server, this is for QA server, the tagging sort of it. So that should be available. The tool also should be having the correlation analysis. Correlation analysis means you have a logs for entire transactions for, let's say, one user, and this user has used your front end also, back end also, database also, some more other resources also. So multiple places the logs will be generated. So you should be correlate like this particular user, only these are the logs belongs to. And artificial ignorance means some of the lines it can be ignored, like info line and all for during analysis. So any tools which you want to go for it, these 5 best practices which you should be having it, and this feature you should be having it for the log analysis. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yes.
Okay, so these are the phases which you can think of it. First collect the log, then clean the log and convert into structured format. Okay, so that is something which you can do. Collect the log, clean the log, convert it into structured format, and then analyze the logs and obtain the results. So these are the phases of the log analysis. So yeah, you can generate, collect, aggregate, normalize, alert, store, summarize, make conclusion, and act. So now what are the log analysis tool which is very popular in the market? So of course, as I said, right, everyone is providing the log analysis. The market leader is Splunk. Okay, and that is what we are going to learn. So Splunk helps you to, in a certain way, helps to break the silos between the teams. So on Splunk, even application support team can work, developer team can work, system administrator can team work, database administrator team can also work. So everyone can work at a one place. So yeah, this is the Splunk and done. So now the question is, what is Splunk then? So Splunk Enclave is an American public multinational corporation based in San Francisco, and the product Splunk capture, indices, and correlate real-time data in the searchable repository from which it can generate graphs, reports, alerts, dashboard, and visualizations. And Splunk is one of the most popular platform for log analysis. What you have is a paid software web. So this is now. Thanks. Okay, so workflow in the Splunk is very simple: ingest logs, index logs, and visualize logs. Some of the features some of the stuff I'm ignoring because too much of discussion. Now this slide is you can understand. So Splunk you can host in the local environment also, and you can have in the cloud also. Both the places you can have. Okay, so Splunk, you have a Windows, you see that Windows machine, different kind of logs. From Linux machine, different kind of logs. From hypervisor and cloud, different kind of logs. Application, different kind of log, database and networking, and that you send it to the Splunk, and from there you can do the searches, analysis, and stuff like that. Okay, so this is a base level architecture. Actually, in Splunk, there are a hell lot of different architectures also for the enterprises and all. But this is to get started with it. So here in the Splunk architecture, we have a three role right now we'll discuss. One is search head. Search head is the place where you search. So there is one machine, you can set it up. Using that, you can search the Splunk database, Splunk indexes. So you look at the arrow, Splunk search head, it's talking to and getting the queries output done from the indexer. So Splunk indexer, you can see, is like a database where all the indexes are stored. Okay, and now how this database is getting the logs. So there's one concept which is called it a forwarder. So forwarder, you can set it up in Linux, Windows, or different locations, Mac and all. And from there, forwarder will send the logs to the indexer, and searcher will take the logs from indexer, and you can analyze it based upon your need. So are you understanding, all of you?
Can you please repeat just one more time, little bit?
So google.com, you know that, right? Google.com. So google.com is equal to Splunk search head. Now google.com, when you search, it searches some database, right? So that
Yes.
database is called Splunk indexer. Now the question is, from where the database, the logs is coming? So logs is coming from the multiple forwarder which you install in Windows and Linux and all blah blah blah. So they send the data to the indexer. Got it? So search head means the place where you search the logs. It's like one UI for
Forward is something like the agent we had in Datadog,
agent.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
something like agent.
Okay.
Yeah. So there in Datadog we had an infra agent which I used to install in the Linux and Windows. That here in Splunk we call it a forward. Got it?
Yes.
Okay, great. So yeah, so what is the thing? So input happen from the forwarder, then parsing happen, then indexing, and then you can do the searches. So here you see forwarder will take an input, indexer will do the parsing and indexing together, and search head will do the search. Advanced architecture, we are not getting into it because that is a different topic altogether. Okay, so more or less we understood. So I'm just checking. Yeah, so I'll just get into the demo itself. It'll be easy for you to get started. Okay, so now installing part. Okay, so these are the types of license available. I'll go for the trial license, enterprise one, which is for 30 days, I guess. Cloud you have available, 15 days trial. You can install in your box. You can use the cloud also. Pricing and all. And okay. Okay, so let's get started this Splunk. So let's go for template. What is this field to create? Okay, maybe Splunk, I'm having it. Let me check. Yeah, so I'll delete this one. So I'll go for cloning Splunk. So let me start. Just a second. I think this should come. This would come. I think this got hung. Yeah, let me. This is stuck, so let me kill this. Hmm. So root and Rajesh 1, 2, 3. Now what is IP address? So IP address per day is 99, right? So 50, 192.168.1.9 root Rajesh 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now I'm going to install it. So how can we install it? So let me see some of my notes so I can help you with that also. Splunk install. So now here, this is the one I'm going to use. How to install and configure server first. So I'm doing installation in my boxes itself. So install it, download it, and start it. These are the things we have to do that. So go to the Splunk download here. So go to the download and here. And now go for the Splunk Enterprise 60 days trial period. Now here, I should be having direct URL for it. I don't have to fill this form, but yeah, let's complete this. My God, password also, but earlier, yes, let me see if I can go without that. So they are forcing this time. Okay, let me fill this time. Great. This is which I
This
run.
conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, so some of the commands which I run for this, I'll put it in the notes properly. And this one. Splunk. Okay, so what I did, did nothing great. I downloaded, extracted using tar command, stop the firewall and start this license Splunk, and 8000 port where you get a Splunk Enterprise. So what we have right now, search head. Remember that you had discussed three things: forwarder, which is we have forwarder, then we have indexer, and then we have search head. Correct now, all of you?
Yes.
So indexer and search head we have at one place. So this is a search head. Search and reporting, you call it a search head. Okay. So this is the search head. Okay. Now where you'll search? So you'll search in the database. Database means indexer. So right now this is acting like an indexer here. There's a multiple indexes which we have. We have to create our own indexes also. This is the system indexes. So we have to create our own indexes. And this is a indexes. So these two, this server right now, the one which I set it up, acting like both of these. This can be separate also.
So indexer is where the data will actually reside.
Yeah. Yes. Indexer is the place where data will reside.
Whatever data we are forwarding via forwarder. Hello, Rajesh, you are not audible.
Hello. Yeah. Sorry, I was having some issue. So yes, that's correct. So indexer will store all the data, and search head. You see the arrow? Search head will search in indexer. All the forwarder will send the data to indexer. So right now these two servers we have at one place. You can keep it separate server also. There's a configuration required for it. Got
Okay.
it? Yeah. Yeah. So this is the one. Now, how do you set up a forwarder? So let's get started the forwarder. So forwarder will set it up. For that. So Splunk install we have here. There is a two kind of forwarder, by the way. One is universal forwarder, the one which I'm talking about, and heavy forwarder also. So when you set up an enterprise large cluster for thousands of users, then you need a heavy forwarder also. So right now I'm not complicating. This universal forwarder is for everything for time being. So here this is the universal forwarder. So some settings has to be done. So here you see.
What is the difference? Heavy
Uh,
versus.
there's a difference. Let me show you that. Splunk forwarder. Just a second. There's no image coming properly. Okay, no image. So let me draw an image quickly. So heavy forwarder, what is happening? So it's for enterprises, not for learning purpose right now, but yeah. This is you, okay? And this is a search head. Remember, search head. It can be in a different server. Okay. Now search head will always search the indexers. This is a machine which is indexer. Okay. Now, indexer, we have multiple functionality. One is like parsing. Parsing means, I hope you remember that, processing and something which I did discussed earlier. You close that image. Just a second. So parsing means processing the data, transforming the data, filtering the data, something like that. So here, I think go for this here. This one. So if you see that here parsing is happening. So parsing means what is happening? Parsing, they will send the any sort of log, and this parsing mechanism will transform the log to the meaningful log. Remember the best practices of log analysis. The same thing will be done in a parsing. So now typically parsing, when you set up a small infrastructure, parsing and indexing happen in the same server. But now because of enterprise, you want only the storage to be used for index, and then parsing should be used in the different machines. So that is called heavy forwarder. So heavy forwarder, and this is a forwarder. So this is a different machines. So forwarder will send the data to heavy forwarder. Heavy forwarder will pass and transform the data, and from here they will store the data in index, and from there search head will take this. So these all components is a separate component. But right now in this demo, I am showing you this all things in one go, and this is a separate one. Understood?
Okay.
Yeah. So heavy forwarder, there is no extra software is available. Heavy forwarder is like the one which you install on Splunk, and the one which you install Splunk here, and then which you install Splunk. Same thing will be installed. A role you have to customize it in the setting options. You have to tell what kind of role you will play. You will play a role of search index or indexer or all of these or heavy forwarder.
So a heavy forwarder, usually you install it where the application is deployed.
No,
No?
heavy forwarder is installed by at the enterprise level for you at the place near to indexer. Heavy forwarder for
Okay.
transforming.
Okay. Okay.
So here to transforming lots of CPU needed, right? So probably you want to keep it this one separate. Software is used, it's the same package which I install now. Same package you have to use for the search head, same package for indexer, same package for heavy forwarder. This package will change. Forwarder package will change.
Okay. 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 Understood.
Okay, so now I am installing the universal forwarder, which is a real agent you can say. Now, I think, let me just give me a second. So, so I have two tutorials for it. So here, if you see Splunk server, search head, and universal forwarder, this is a little complex. We'll go for this one, configure universal forwarder. Okay, so this is the something which you have to do. So now let me set up a forwarder. So how do we do that? So we'll go back to forwarder, which is here. Open up in a new console, and here we have so many forwarder. So forwarder, you will go for what forwarder? So Windows forwarder, Linux forwarder, what exactly? So let's go for the Linux forwarder. So it's 64-bit. Okay. So this is a here. and go further. This TGS file is only. Why I'm going for always TGS file? Because you get all this component in one place. Others, some few files will go to the ETC, some file OPT, some file this, some file that. So you will get lost. So if you have every file at one place, it will be easy for you to understand the package structure. So now I am going for forwarder, which is here. Now this is the command. So I'll go for the forwarder download first of all. So the problem here is download is not happening. Let me try one more time. There's some problem with the VM itself. Let me try. So connecting from the VM and says okay, no, same problem actually. I'll have to fix this, else it will disturb me a lot. So let me download manually right now. And here. Okay, so now download is completed. Let me download the forwarder. 2 times I downloaded it. Okay, so now I got it here, and this is the forwarder, which is I'm moving to OPT. So CD OPT, CD OPT, and tar-ZXVF. What is this? MV. So tar-ZXVF. I have to do the fresh download, and let me delete this file star.tzz. Okay, now this is the Splunk. This file. Done. So go for this, move this folder to OPT and CD OPT and tar-ZXVF and done. So now forwarder. Where did I install the Splunk? I deleted what? Okay, Splunk is here only. Okay, ps-here, grep Splunk, and it's in the root only. Okay, good. I got little scared. Did I delete or what? So this is Splunk forwarder. Okay. Now this is the stuff which you have to do. So now let's follow this on the instruction. So install and configure. So first thing, these are the ports should be available, which is available actually. So, and second thing, you have to go and do these changes to add a forwarder. So setting up a forwarder. So for that, prerequisite to add a forwarder. So this location setting, monitoring console setting, and forwarder monitoring setup, and you have to say enable. Okay. So this is the first setting you have to do. So can we do this? So setting and monitoring console. So setting and monitoring console. Now with that one more setting, and here forwarder monitoring setup. So here is the forwarding monitoring setup and enable it for 15 minutes. That's the first thing you do. Continue. After that, you have to go to setting and forwarding and receiving and receive data. So setting, forwarding and receiving. So done. Now go to setting and forwarding and receiving. So where exactly? Forwarding and receiving. You see that here, all of you?
Yes.
So click on here.
Can you please repeat what you just did before going to forwarding and receiving?
I just did this one here. So while doing it, you can refer it from here. Okay. So setting, forwarding and receiving, receive data, add new. So receive data, and which is here, add new. And here you have to specify the port number of forwarder, which is a 99. This is default actually. So 997. And this one, save it.
What does the 15-minute do? It enables it for 15 minutes only?
No. That will monitor, that enable the monitoring actually for the forwarders. So that means forwarders every 15 minutes, server will go and forwarder ask what is your health, and monitoring the enable the monitoring actually, forwarder monitoring set.
Okay. So
Yeah,
this is we are configuring in the server itself, main server.
server. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So after that you are done. You have to restart the Splunk. So how do you restart? Setting, server control, restart Splunk. Setting, server control. Can you see that server control? Mm,
Bottom left, under systems, server settings, server controls.
server controls and restart Splunk. Just wait for a few seconds. So now what I set it up, this 3 component in one, and forwarder I am still setting up. So this configurations I made it for the server. Right now it was acting like a forwarder also, but I made it separate one, so you'll receive the data. Okay, so almost done. And ADMIN, so password done. So that server siding setup for the forwarder is done. Now I'll do the forwarder installation. So this is done. So let's do this. Make sure firewall and all. I typically disable it actually, so that you don't have to worry about it. Once you get into the setting of the enterprise after learning, then you can just check that. So now what to do? So here this, go to the forwarder and download the forwarder. This is the forwarder, I did it, extract it and go to the bin directory. So there's a bin directory. So I'm in the bin directory here, cd bin, and here after that these are the command to start, stop and all stuff like that. First time when you're starting, this is the accept license, you have to do that. So let's do this, accept license. Now else it will prompt you and get it done. So forwarder also you can set the password, username and password, JDMN, and what is this? Okay, so the problem here is I just said no, I'm running this the enterprise version of server. So in this machine, this port number is being used already. So for the forwarder, should I use the new port? I'll do one thing. I will use one of the machines for that. Yesterday we used the SonarQube, right? Let's use the forwarder this machine. So I don't have to change the port number, default port number. Forwarded technically it should be in different machine, because when you install the enterprise Splunk, one forwarder is coming along with that, so you don't have to install separately, but just for the demo I'm showing you. So root Rajesh PT. So what is IP address? IP address is 192.168.1.8 and 2 and Rajesh 123, yes, and OPT. Now download this forwarder. So done. So MB forwarder Splunk to OPT. I like OPT locations, so this is the one, tarball -ZXCVF Splunk, spelling mistake I guess, yeah, and done. This is the forwarder. Okay, now go to the Splunk forwarder. Now cd bin. Now command which I'm going to copy paste from here is this one. So accept ADMIN and password. There's some red also, but that's okay. I'll go with it. And here this done. Okay, that means I'll just check the processes also. So grab Splunk and it's running. I'll just check the Splunk status also, and it's running. So forwarder is running now. Now we have to configure it. So now this is a command to configure it. Okay, this is the command to configure. So here you have to add Splunk, add forwarder server, this one. Okay, and admin password and all stuff like that. So first let's check it out, the list of monitor. So there is a ADMIN password. And so here, see that uh, there's no list of monitor uh, except this. This is a log file. So do I have my own monitoring? No. So what to do? So you can add all this stuff. So in the cloud, this is the one. And
I did not understand this part actually.
okay, so what I'm doing, I'll just explain it to you. What I am doing is uh, this is my search it, and here we have indexer also, same boxes.
Yes.
Now after that, this is my box, another one where you install the forwarder. Now what I did first step means this step. I'm saying, hey, this particular port number which is allowed for input, that means
Yes.
9997 will receive data from the TCP port. So here I'm allowing at 997. Okay. Now what is a 997 port? 997 port is a forwarded port for the receiving the data at the indexer. Okay.
Okay.
So I did this, I allowed that at the server level. It was blocked. After that, what I'm doing, and here I'm saying, hey, I want to add a forwarded server, and this is a forwarded IP address. Add a forwarded server and send this to this address. Okay. So here
And the
adding
IP
forward.
here, the port which is mentioned in this is the port of the server, a forwarder
No,
server from
server.
where it is
Yes.
sending.
Yeah. Receiving server here.
Receiving server. Okay. Okay.
It is sent to here, no? So port is
Okay.
required here, not here. Getting?
Okay.
It's
Okay.
not a pull mechanism. It's a push mechanism.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So here I am saying, hey, do the forward server, enable the forwarder server, add the forwarder server. This is the indexer and port number, and
So
this is
you will
the
expect traffic from this IP.
yes. So forwarder will collect forwarder. This is the forwarder will collect from the different list. So monitoring list it was showing no monitoring list. This all is enabled right now. These all logs is of forwarder itself. So this monitoring list is enabled, but not able to send the data. I can add more logs actually for this also, my own logs also. So this is the default one from the Splunk forward. See the log. So this is being monitored. Forward is monitoring this file, but not able to send it. So why is not able to send it? So there is no forwarder list. Let me run this command and you'll understand. So here, if you see manually, also you can run it by the way. Uh, this is the file. See here, active forwarder none, inactive forwarder none. That means they are capturing the hell lot of data, but not sending it. So that is what I was trying to
Okay.
add this one. Got it?
So active forwarder none is in the server where we want to receive the data. Which
Yes,
server you are
active
pinging here right now?
this one,
Like
this
the
one.
okay, okay. So there
This
are
is a
no
I have
active.
only one.
Okay,
In the forwarder, I don't. This is the forwarder machines. I don't have any forwarders active. That means I'm not forwarding to the any indexer. Got it?
oh, okay, okay. Yeah, that is what I wanted to understand. So here we have to mention where we want to forward whatever we are collecting.
Correct. This collection is enabled here. This logs I showed you. These all are collecting. You can add a more entries also, but forwarder is
Okay.
not enabled. So that is what I was reading the logs. So I think this
So
command will work.
one last thing in the forwarder window, it seems like
Mhm.
it's actually just by default checking the logs for the Splunk only. can you open that console, also that terminal?
Yeah.
So here, whatever is mentioned, it's actually measuring logs for Splunk only, right?
So here the forwarder is reading their own logs actually,
Yes.
own log.
Okay.
So here I
So
can add here I can add
we would have to configure it, right, for our
right. So
service. Okay.
this command is there. Monitoring. Here, see here.
Okay.
I'll do that first. Let me do this one. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the pass. This is the command will work. IP address for that is 9, right? Yeah, 9. So 192.168.1.9 and the port number. This is what you decided. And add forwarder. Admin and password is STF something like that. I put it up. This one. So now let me work on it. So here, enter. And now it is adding the forwarder to dot. Now this some certificate validation, that's okay. And then I check this. And you see here, right now, it's part of the inactive. So just wait for a few seconds. It should automatically become an active. Got it, all of you?
Yes.
So now what I did, I added the forwarder. Now this work is done. Now I'm going to add a logs. So what logs I'm going to add? So var logs, which contains the system of logs of Linux. So let me contain that one also full. You can do the individual files also and stuff like that. So now var logs, enter. I added. Can I see the list of monitoring now? Here. And see here. This is the one which I was earlier. Okay. And this is the one log which I added just now. Got it? So here monitoring directories. This is the directories. Understood? So what I did, forwarder I added the source and forwarder I added the destinations. Understood all of you? Hello?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So now actually these commands I showed you, actually you can do in the file which is called output file also. Input and output file. Where do you find? Let me make it comfortable a little bit of it. So where is the output and input file? So here there is an output file. Let me search for it. I can't look for it. So find -name output.conf. Okay, yeah. So input here. Let's output. So this is ODU modules input. Okay, so this is the file input and output. That's conf, I think, removed in this version, so this okay. So this is the file also, you can manually do that. In the cloud, I think I showed you web server, and this is the list of forwarders. So let's troubleshoot a little bit of it. And blah, blah, blah. So now just go to bin directory and see the list of forwarder. Now this is still inactive. This is still inactive. Let me restart it and enter.
What is this cloud part?
Cloud means a Splunk cloud. We have no Splunk cloud.
Okay.
Yeah. So many things are there. I don't want you to get you lost in 4 hours. So I'm just showing you what you need to do in your local machines. Once you get comfortable, then you can explore your own way. So many things are there. Okay, so now this is something which we have it. Let me accept license, and so see this command I run. After that, firewall, I'll just disable both the places because systemctl stop firewall D, which is done at systemctl stop firewall D, disable, spelling mistake I guess, stop firewall D, disable firewall D. So now this place also systemctl stop firewall D, disable firewall D. And now in this 8, can you see the list of forwarded server in the active? So ADMIN password still is inactive. Why? It's there. Monitoring. Where is monitoring? Here. And forwarded instance. Search for the waiting inputs. So still waiting for input. Okay, let me check the logs. It should be immediately automatically because there's no issues as such. So here clustering control. So here I did this list forwarder server. Just a second, let me stop the recording.
This conference will now be recorded.
IP is wrong. So let's do this. Let's do this command. It should be okay this time. That's it. Got. Good. So now restart. Okay, so now I'll just do first listing out ADMIN. So IP is wrong. This is the one. See, this IP is wrong. So I'll go for 1.9. This is the right IP. Okay, and let's do this. Done. And now I'm expecting one should be the active forwarder within a few seconds. So now let me restart once and just wait for a few seconds. So because all the steps I did only except that IP address issues. So this is done. Done. So let me check this now. Active forwarders should be one. Yeah, done. So guys, this you saw we did the forwarding. So now forwarding is been done from here, and go back to this place and see lots of data should be here. Now which data is coming? Let me check. So I think, see, a few seconds ago, I need to check that which are the Splunk logger. So now go to the search head. It will be easy for you. Searching for it. And now from last 15 minutes, whatever the data you see here, right now there's no data has done. Just wait for a second. It's 16 minutes. So error. No indexing found. Just wait for a few seconds. You can also see now reportings. One, it will take some time to stabilize actually. So go to the forwarder instance, and here still read still. So I see that here the forwarder is active. Now it's just a matter of few seconds, it will get stabilized. This takes 15 minutes. So okay, so any questions on the setup part? We'll have to just validate the data, all of you.
No questions.
Okay, let me check why the data has not come. Usually take 3 to 4 minutes. Forwarder is forwarding. This is the right IP address, right? Yeah, this is 8, so that is 9. Yeah. Now I want to check the list of monitoring also. This is done. So yeah, seems to be good now. Should be data coming sometime. Okay, so now there is a not only the forwarder ways to collect the data. There's so many ways to collect the data. So one of the ways I'm going to show you one more here. So go to the setting here, data inputs. So you can take the data inputs in many ways actually. See here, many ways. You can take the data input from the files and directories, HTTP event collectors, TCP, UDP, script, and blah, blah, blah. Now you can also enable this forwarder input from these other logs also. Okay, so now there is one entry which we have upload logs also available. Now I'm just thinking to find out here, add a data. And here you can also upload the logs. Okay, so see upload the forwarder, just now I set it up and monitoring the one which I was showing you. So upload the logs. So let me quickly upload the logs just because I don't want to drag only on the installation front, but I need to have some logs uploaded and start searching. Searching techniques is very important. So where is the logs? So I'm looking for some logs here, but could not find. So I'll just go for GitHub and here and Splunk sample data. So a lot of sample data you have, and one of the sample data I'm taking up. Others, let's take the new latest data only. So go for the event viewer, my Windows itself, and go for application logs. That should be okay. Okay, that's a huge file actually. So what you can do, you can custom save all events. 60,000 files are there, and saving event CSV format. Okay, done. So it will take some time, few seconds. So these are the logs actually. So 716 KB, 1.21 MB, 1.56. This takes some time, and 1.7 like that. Meanwhile, let me see if the log has come from the forwarder or not. By now it should be here actually. Yep. So it started coming the logs, but see here. Can you see that? This file, all of you?
Yes.
So var log here. It's little slow, not sure why, but you should be having it. So list monitors, okay? Monitors. List list monitor. Spelling mistake I'm doing now. List monitor. So now only one app. Why is okay? Sorry. Then so this is the this all I set it up. So anything which happen in this any of this file, you should see here. You should see here. One has come with the error message, and slowly should come. Can I do the some activity? So yum install git. I'm just doing some activities on the server. So some logs will be refreshed. Okay. Okay, so I'll remove again. Install, remove, something like that. I'm doing it. Okay. So can I do yum search for it? Let me see if it has come or not. Yeah, it has come. So now you know you need to learn how to do the search techniques, how to learn search techniques. All of you are understanding?
Yes.
Any questions? So guys, now let me teach you some of the search techniques. I was doing something else. Yeah. So I was trying to get the system logs actually. So add logs, and manually I'm uploading it just for learning, because search technique is very important for you. So here, desktop, where is that file? Event.csv, and I'm uploading it manually. Okay. Next. Now, what is the name of this type? Type you want to keep it CSV. You see, you want to anything else? Input settings. So, what are the fields? This is your host field. Do you want to store in the default or new index? I want to create a new index. So, index name I'll keep it Rajesh. Okay, mind it Rajesh, and review. So these are the type. This is the source, host, index, submit. Now I'll just go and check that how many lines we've got, and you can start searching for here. So here you see the source is equal to this one, local host, index, Rajesh, and type this one. So this is the common search. You can keep it all the time. After that, whatever you want to search for. So right now only three logs got 66,000 it should be. So can I go and check that index Rajesh and how many documents you have in the Rajesh? So where is Rajesh? Can you locate it? Here it is, correct now? So now see here, 62,000 documents you have got it. So now if you search now, and here all time, now slowly 62,000, you see my cursor, correct now?
Yes.
So now you search for it, what it's a Windows event log. So search for it what you want, and this is something which you have to do that. So now I'm going to teach you basic search techniques in Splunk. So any questions guys so far?
What if I want to save this particular search?
Yes. This all the search will be in us automatically stored. So click on go for here. Search will be stored automatically in the job. So where is that? So you see search history here. These are the search I did, and you can also convert it to the job here. Click on the job, and see here. These are the searches I just did. I mean, system did or I did. So these all are
And
stored at.
no, but if I want to store it like explicitly with some name, like
Reporting reports. You have to generate a reports and store it. Yeah. So that also you can do that. Just
okay,
so here you see the reports. Here you see alerts. Here you see dashboard. All this thing here analytics, and here you can convert, you can store in the jobs, and you can export, you can print, you can share, all these things
So
can
the
be done.
job's purpose is to run that query
Query,
periodically.
yeah. Query, yes. Query, any queries, new queries will become a job actually in Splunk.
Okay.
Got it? Okay, so this is the one. So now let's focus on the real part. So setup, all of you are confident now? Again, by the way, there's an enterprise level setup is also, but that's a huge topic. Like setup itself will take, setup and discussion will take at least 1 or 2 days. So far good, all of you?
Yes.
Okay, so now the most important part of this is Splunk is learning the search techniques. Okay, that's an important work. So how do we search for it? So basic search here. So let's get started with the search techniques. Search techniques just like a Google techniques, Google you search, right? There also we have a multiple techniques. So here we have a search techniques. So look at this here. So what we are going to discuss now is search terms, commands, functions, argument, and clause. So how do you search? This techniques is very important. After the setup is done, once it's a one-time activity, setup is one-time activity. After that, 95% of the time will be spent on searching, reporting, and dashboarding only. Okay, so that is a work to all of you when using Splunk. So let's start with this. So this window which you see is nothing but a search head. This is the search head, the one which you see here. This is a search head. So I'm talking about that one only. So how do you search? So always, because you don't want to do the entire index search. When you do the entire index, multiple indexes will be there in the Splunk. So if you do the searches of entire index, what will happen? Any idea? What will happen?
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Sorry, did you ask any question? Someone was at my door, so I lost.
Yeah. I was asking question, what if let's say multiple indexes are there, multiple databases are there where the billions lines of code will be stored. So when you search all indexes, then what will happen?
It will take too much time to show you
Too
the
much
results.
time. Yeah. So you should not do the all indexes searches. Rather, you should specify the index. Okay. So how do you specify the index? So here you see index is equal to Rajesh. Can you see my screen, right? All of you?
Yes.
So here you should specify which index you're searching. Let's say you say no, I will not specify the index. Then default index will be there, and default index has 0. So default index will be search. So yeah, you always add some of the fields which will help us to save your CPU and run. So you add the index also. You add the source type also, and that field which you are trying to search for. So here if you see that source type is equal to access, and here regular expression has been used, so that means any source type which is with access, search for it. Search this particular source type in the default index. So this search is happening in the default index. Now the field with which you are searching is status is equal to 503. So this searches has happened On top of that, in shell scripting, you understand the pipe command, right? All of you?
Yes.
Yeah. So here also we have a pipe command. So pipe will be used on the top of the search results of previous command. So whatever the results of source type access status 503, on top of that you want to do something. That results whatever has come, you want to do something. So what you want to do? So you want to see the stats. What is stats? Stat is a command. So like that in Splunk, a lot of commands are there. Okay. So your stats, and here sum is a function. Okay. So you want to see the stats of price, which is sum, and you want to see field as a lost revenue. So your field name will be lost revenue. So here sum is a function, then arguments, as is a clause, and after that you have a group arguments also price. On top of that, again you can run some commands, and also you can do some transformations. So here again there's one more command which is field format, and then lost revenue equal to the again functions and that. So this is how you can plan your search techniques. This is the overall idea about it. So in this overall, in the search technique in Splunk, you have to add what index you are searching, what source type you are searching, and what field and what field and field values what you are searching. After that, you can transform that each search results using the pipe, command, function, argument, and clause. And you can continue doing it till you get the desired results as in your format. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yes.
So this is the way. So yeah, so here you see source type Linux. You are searching for intermediate results table, failed password, then top users, and then fails person. So here fetch events from disk that match, summarize into the tables of top 10 users, remove column showing percentage. So this is a pipe you can always use. Top is a command, failed is a command, user is a parameter. So here you see that very carefully you see that. So first when you search for source type, syslog errors. So all these results you got it. First column. After that you said I want to see top user. Top is a command, user is a field. So you want to see the top by users. So all the users which has a top count, user count, you got it. And after that you want to see the by percentage. So you see that here, remove percentage column. Here, sorry, not percentage, removing. Hyphen means removing. Okay. So top user means top is a command, user is a field name. Here fields space hyphen percent means remove the percentage. So here you remove the percentage and only count you will see. Okay. So like that. Are you understanding?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the stuff. Look at this one more example. Here source type, status pipe, command, function, argument, class, and keep doing it till you get it. Different visualizations which we have for that. So these are the search limitations. So first you start with the search command, then command and function, and then pipe and command functions. If you do not follow this, idea of searching, then you will not be found in the your desired results and stuff. Okay. Okay. So all of you are clear with this fundamental of search
Yes.
technique? Yeah. So now the major learnings what you have is you need to learn the command and function. And there are more than 300 commands are there, and more than 500 functions are also there. Okay, that is a challenge which you have here. Okay. So here, like that. Look at this one more time, just for understanding purpose. Here you have index, searching for index web, the source type, anything with the start with the access underscore, and status. This is a search term. Then stats is a command, sum is a function, price is argument, and lost revenue as a clause, the same thing which I showed you last time. So yeah, so search term means what you are looking for. It can be keywords, it can be phrases, it can be booleans, and etc. Commands, what you want to do with the results after the pipe. Create a chart, you can do that. Compute statistics, you can do that. Evaluate and format and all that. Function means how do you want a chart, the one previously the command which you compute or evaluate the results, how you want to display. So get a sum or average or transform the values or something. Arguments is very simple. It's a argument to the function. So at that variable you want to apply to this function. So that is a cloud. How do you want to group or rename the fields in the results? Give a field another name or values, group values by the over. So yeah. Now there is a editor also under the preference. If you go SPL editor, you can enable and some more functionality you get it and stuff like that. Okay, so this is the stuff. So a lot of search techniques which we have. So this is the text. So
I have one question about the logs which we forward. So,
mhm,
what happens generally when you are kind of forwarding the logs or I mean handling the logs in general in your application? There will
mhm.
be a lot of the things which you won't really require but gets generated. So,
Yeah,
like
that's
kind of like a noise.
artificial ignorance we call it. That means that's the best practices of it. So how do you avoid that? Correct? No? How do we
Yes.
avoid? So in output.conf only, that means while adding the forwarder, I did not complicate that, but you can say what you want to take it input and output. So Splunk input only error. So let me show you some examples. I see. So here these are the example for input.conf. Okay. So here you are tailing this log. So I just added only this one. Okay. Okay,
Yes.
now you can set that which index this log should go. And here, if you see, uh,
This is
just
what we put in forwarder.
yeah, input means adding the monitoring. Okay,
In the
so
in the
there,
forwarder, these configurations should be there. Or
yeah, you have to. It's called parsing functionality.
okay, okay.
So whichever the line you want, just a second. Let me see that. Include exclude. Just a second. Input exclude. Let's see, this is the right documents, I guess. So you can decide, you can inform forwarder, hey, I don't want to see your monitor. Here you are monitoring and this whole directory, and you are saying, hey, only take the file which is having extension ending with a .log. Don't take all files.
Okay.
Okay. Here exclude files. So you're blacklisting the some regular expression. For example, take the files from here and blacklist, but which file? .txt file. Here some more patterns are there. These are regular expressions. Okay, so here you are saying, hey, do not add archiving and a historical dot back. Here for some file patterns are there. Here you have some events should not be backed up. So this is the system events, and you are saying, hey, this event is very generic. I don't want to fill my index for that. So this event code 4662, and within this message ignore it. Blacklist 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it?
Okay.
So this way you can inform the forwarder, and this is called parsing and transforming. It can be complicated also. This can be a page long also. This is just a simple example set.
Okay. Also, one more question is, so when we talk about forwarder, how do we integrate Splunk with Kubernetes cluster if we want to achieve that?
That is a different question. So for that, Kubernetes pods, these forwarders can be in form of pods also. So that you can do that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So that's a different question. Okay. So let's get back to the search technique. So how do we get started? So I'm thinking you to get started with something that is, let me see that if I have that. And see here, so adding a more data into it, you have it here. And this is a setting, Windows query, lookup, and basic search techniques. Just search. I have a one, but where I kept it, I don't know. So just let me check the notes. So now there's one CSV file which you can take it from the six here. So here, this you can search by like this. So index home, state is equal to anything, level critical, top state by label. So this is a different search queries are there. These are the different commands are there. Show count, show percentage, limit. So here instead of top, here you can show percent, show limit, all this thing you can do that. Here you are adding the pipe. See here. So this is your search query, and you're adding a pipe. Top is a command, limit is a function, and domain is a field. So this is the way. There's a rare command which is there, stats command which is there, and table command which is there. So let me show you some of these searches here. So what to search? So I want to search. This is the when I search the string. Let's say I'm searching for something like message. Let me see. Some event code I want to search for it. So let me search. So here line, these all are message. Where is message, index time, level information, event ID. So here event ID, I want to see that. So 33 values we have. These are the event IDs. So I want to search for event IDs 16384. Okay. So that is something which I want to do that. So what I'll do, event ID, what was decided? Event ID 16, I forgot that again. 16384, 16384. So event ID is not a field. adding to the searches. Okay, so here just I want to display only one. So event average over top values. Let's go for the top values. So so this is the way you got it. Now there's an event ID 0, event ID 16394 and stuff like that. So this is the failed actually event ID. Now let's say 163 if you want to create this format. So here event ID should be so here port is equal to 16394. So 16394. So something like this. Let me see in last 24 hours, 13 events. So right now, I wanted to grab only the events ID 163494 in last 24 hours. So these are the things. Now, if you want to see something in table format, spelling mistake, this is the command. Command by what? So command by table by what? So table by some field. So some field says host and source. So table by host and source. So see that I created table and source, space and source. Okay, now see here. So this is the way you can search, and if it's serve your purpose, you can export this, you can create a reports, you can send it and stuff like that. So are you understanding all of it?
Yes.
So a lot of techniques.
Travel
Yeah.
increases common. Travel increases common.
Some question?
We have various our features.
Okay, let me mute. Okay guys, any questions so far? Okay, so the important thing is this basic search. So this basic search techniques you have to learn. So I would like to show you only that for your mind purpose. Splunk list of commands. Okay, and list of search commands you have here. And this is a list of it. And always refer the official documents only. There's no need to. This is a small list by the way. It's not a all list. So reference and here search command by category. So go for this one. A lot of commands you have. A lot of it. Then after that you have to list of functions. You have to check this and list evaluation function. Function, just type function. Hundreds of functions you have. And where to check. So here this is the you see that evaluation function, comparison and conditional function, conversion functions, cryptographic functions, date and time functions. I clicked on it. Okay, JSON functions, informational function, mathematical functions, multi-value functions. So this hundreds on hundreds of you have, depends on that your requirement. You have to. Now this is the stuff. Now let me show you some of the techniques through the here. Yeah, so look at this, will be easy for you first. So yeah, in this you are searching for search command. This is search command. This is a chaining command. So here You are searching by the source host pipe command 1, command 2 like this. You can change. You can filter by again search. So here you are searching for this source host pipe search event code is equal to 10 100 just now I did like this. Here dedupe is a function. Okay, so dedupe is a function and event code. That means here you are saying any logs which has event code duplicate, remove it and show me. It will not be removed from the index. The search results it will be removed. So only shows the unique event. For example, show only event code source. Okay, so this is the stuff. Here for shorting you can use after the pipe you can use head at 10 for shorting. At 10 means show first 10 results, reverse, short by users, short by not by users. Okay, tell 10, show the last 10 results and so on. So after the query pipeline and do that. So basic searching, yes, this is the keyword searching. So you see that you can write a failed or error. Wildcard searching, you can see that. If you are doing the phrase searching, putting in the quotes. If you are doing the Boolean searching, then it's a case sensitive and or not. If you are doing the field searching, then the name of the field and is equal to values and so on. Are you understanding all of it?
Yes.
Yeah. So here, these are the search commands. A chart. You want to see the chart table I showed you, right? Like that chart you can see, and time chart you can have. You can also rename the specific field for the search results. Short, stats, evaluation command, dedupe command, table command, and so on. Okay, search term. So yeah, this is how you plan. So search term and then command. So here you see the search term is in green, host, source, user, and you see that or is being used. So here you are searching, give me the lines which has a message fail or locked only. So and then after that you are creating a table of that results by user and message. After that you are renaming the table of user as a table of user and here, and then after that you are renaming the renaming the time. Okay, time field. See here you are seeing the table with the time, user and message, and after that third line which you are renaming the field name underscore time as a time user. Okay, okay, and you are renaming the field user as a user message and message as a message only. Okay, so this is how you are renaming, and then sorting by not by time. Are you understanding this such techniques? All of you?
Yes.
Yeah. So here this will be the results. This is the results of this. Okay, so now you can also see, like when you are searching for the one message which is called fail, but fail, failure, fail. So how do you do that? So for that you can use your this regular expressions. So something this can be done also. Okay. Now some of the search techniques preferences you can set. There's a mode of it, like a full, compact, none. This is just for the time purpose. Some assistant and all you get it during the search. Right now I'm in compact mode, so I was getting the some search assistant full mode and all. So this is the, now you see that little bit of this window. If you can understand that, whatever the search results you get it, that you see in the events tab, patterns, Splunk automatically detect the patterns and give you statics also, visualization in a different format. And you see that how many pagination you want to see, page 20 and all. each log you can see in that you can broaden that log and see the each fields of it. And there's a field bar left side. So left side also you can add in the field search. So if you go for here, and let me go back to this. And now if I say index is equal to Rajesh, enter. So now in the Rajesh 4000 lines are there in this index. Okay, it should be more. Okay, 24 hours, not all times. So in the last 24 hours, 4000 lines, almost 3999 is there. Now here, if you want to, interesting fields which has been there. So if you want to add this into the search selected fields, so just click here and let's say date and second, and date and second, and selected, yes. See here. Now whatever the results you will see, you will have a selected field. So these are the fields you will have it, and you can see the results. So like that, you have patterns detections, and this is the pattern. So basically all the lines is having only one pattern. So it has 4000 lines, but this all patterns has come only one. Statics, you will see here, you can see the pivots, quick report you can generate, search commands, and visualizations like a dashboard and all. You can also do that. Okay, so this is something which we have to get comfortable with it. This is all visualizations actually. Yeah. Okay, so now we'll talk about some of the enterprise level. So after learning the search techniques, here you have alerts also, which you can create it through this. And in the setting button, you have so many options actually. So here you have authentication authorization. So if you want to create a user's and role token, password and all, you can do that. This part I'm just skipping it. Okay, here multiple indexes are there. So each indexes, right now Rajesh, the one which I created, you see that this many lines are there. And I have a data from last 15 days. And latest event is from the last 9 hours. So size and all, capacity, maximum we can have a 500 GB. Right now enterprise trial versions of 500 GB, but it will get overdone. The cap will be applied 500 MB. So mind it. So this is the locations of the database index. You can manage through this. You can, because the rest of the index which is not created by me, by system, so I cannot edit and delete. I mean, I cannot disable and delete, but my own I can delete and disable also. And here's the index is there. This is the most important. Spend some time here. So this is called data inputs. So one of the data input which I taught you is forwarder, but actually this a lot of data input you can set from the search index itself. So if you want to have some HTTP event collector URL, you can use it. Some different machines TCP, UDP, some script, okay, and here some KB stored and all. And forwarder inputs you can set it for the Windows event logs, file directory which I did it, performance monitoring, TCP, UDP, so many things you can do that. So here if you think you want to add more files and folders, so just you can add, browse this directory, and where exactly in your system you have it, you can do that. Okay, so this is the what we have Splunk. Any specific questions guys you have, all of you?
No.
Okay, so now let's discuss last thing, which is basically little bit of enterprise setup. This will be the question for interview. So search techniques, again, practice will help you make you perfect. Initial basic setup I showed you, but this is something which will help you in interview sometime. So by now You understand the indexer, search head, and universal forwarder, right? All of you.
Yes.
So have you forwarder? Actually, someone has asked this question, and I said, now deployment server and deployment client, I'll discuss in some. This is not so important, right? We are using Ansible or Chef or Puppet instead of deployment server and deployment. So you can say simply, when it comes for the deployment server question, you simply say, hey, we are not using it. We are using better solution than deployment server and deployment client, and that is called Ansible, the one which I taught you. So indexer, search head, universal forwarder, and heavy forwarder. So look at this. This is something enterprise architecture. You see that here. So in the enterprises, we have an indexer, different server, search head, different server. Deployment server is also different. But if you want to understand what is a deployment server, it's like an Ansible control master. You know that, right? Control master, Ansible control server, ACS. So that you can say deployment server. So why we use the deployment server? So we want to configure the thousands of and hundreds of universal forwarder and heavy forwarder, right? Their configurations file. I showed you through command because it was easy, but actually that command will make us some files entry. That's called input and output. Okay, so you can do in the large setup, you can do through the deployment server and client, but we are using Ansible for it, or Chef for it, or Puppet for it. So like this. Now license master, which is also in separate machine. So let me show you the license master, which is here. Here, licensing. So here right now I got a trial license group, but they have multiple license and all stuff like that. So yeah, so here you can add a license, and if you think no, this is not license server, so you can change this and create a different license server also. So that's the enterprise setup which we have. Heavy forwarder, which we have, where the parsing is happening. We have a cluster masters also, search head also, where we search deployer also. So look at this. This image is good actually and meaningful for understanding. So here, understand this search head, which you use it, indexer where the storage is there, and indexer require the license manager. License manager which empower the licenses of the indexer. So there is no limitation of the search head. The only cap which you have is at indexer. So here we add a license masters on top of the indexer, and forwarders which we have forwarded all the data to the indexer, and deployment server which configure the forward.
Forwarder
So
wouldn't require the license,
no license. It's a free. Only
but
indexer the
heavy forwarder would need that because we are processing there.
no heavy forwarder also don't need it. So these all
Heavy
have
forwarder, sorry.
By the way, search head, indexer, and heavy forwarder all are coming from the same package, but the rules are different. So heavy forwarder don't need a license, indexer need a license, and that's where if you see that here, this is a cap. That means how much of data will be processed per day. This will be capped. So based on the license, you will have this cap. Okay.
Because it is trial, that's why it's capped like this.
This is trial and all the features are available. So a 500 MB is per day cap. If you want to increase it, you'll have to buy for this.
Okay.
Okay, so 500 MB is a cap. So now this cap is basically it's an indexer. Okay, so it's controlled by a license manager. License manager right now I am in the same server. So yeah, this is a little bit. Let me show you a little bit here. Few images I'll show you. I'll not feed your mind with lots of. Look at this here. This is a clustering. So very important. So what you have done it. So here you have a multiple search head cluster. Okay, and then multiple indexed cluster. Okay, and then multiple forwarder with a load balancing also. So this kind of architecture also you can plan, but for enterprise, not for learning. It's a one-time setup, just feeding some data in your mind. So you, whenever the questions will come like, okay, how do you architect, and also you can at least you can say, okay, there is a forwarder, universal forwarder, there is a happy forwarder, there is an indexer, there is a search head, license manager, and each and everything we can create a clusters of it. And
So
in between that,
what is the purpose of master node in indexer cluster?
see, it's a global concept. Anytime, mind it here, anytime you have a cluster, you have a master node. In Kubernetes also, if you remember, I had a
Yeah.
clusters. So you have master node. So master node responsible for managing the cluster. So here this you can see my cursor. This master node manage this all clusters. And here also there's a one master node we required and which will manage this cluster. Here also required like this.
Okay.
Okay, so like this. This is a slide I want you to discuss. This is a question for interview. If they're asking you questions in this plan, they'll ask you what is the difference between universal forwarder and heavy forwarder. So you can say, hey, universal forwarder is one executable, heavy forwarder is a full-blown Splunk enterprise itself. Now, this universal forwarder will only do the search. You see that here, bundle Python, no, yes, pre-event filtering, event routing, event parsing. So event parsing is important. Universal forwarder sometime, heavy forwarder all the time. Local indexing, no, no, no. Where is a heavy forwarder can be there. So in the high level, if you want to tell, you can say, hey, indexer is a place where we store, but processing also consumes lots of CPU and RAM from the non-structured log to the structured log. We have to convert the non-structured log to the structured logs. How do we do that? So for that, we use the heavy forwarder instead of doing the same work in the indexer.
Index. Okay.
Okay, so these are the things which you can plan for it. Just thinking. See that this is the file. By the way, file name got changed in this version. So instead of conf, they are just calling input and output. But you see that, look at this file here, very simple. Indexer, where you are saying receiving. That means you are saying, hey, I'm allowing at this 997 port. See, all this thing I did, but through the UI and command line. But right now, if you do at the mass level modifications, then you have to do like this. This you have to modify these files. So in the file which you go in the indexer, you have to modify this input.conf and you have to say, hey, okay, I'm enabling from on this particular IP address 9777. Now in the forwarder, if you go to the input and output, input you say what logs you want to do and some index name which you want to store, source type, host, disable, false true, whatever it is, and then output you are sending the indexer. Are you able to see that?
Yes.
Yeah. So like that. So actually you will modify when you get into the enterprise level, you'll modify that file, but because you are learning, so you can use the UI part also.
Can you just go back to that slide one more time?
Yeah.
So these ports should match, right? Always. In
Always.
the forwarder port and indexer port.
So this port has to match. So now if you say some multiple port you can enable, 9997 is a default one. You can, if you enable here, then here also you have to change that.
Okay.
Okay, so like that. I'm just thinking what else. Yeah. Okay, so now you see that here deployment server is just like acting deployment server. Don't complicate yourself. Use Ansible for that. So you say, hey, I want to. If someone will say, what is a deployment server? So we say, see, we want to modify the input.out.conf and output.conf, but not in one server, thousands of servers, hundreds of servers. So how do we do that? So either we use the Chef Puppet or Ansible or use the deployment server. But we are not using deployment server, we are using Ansible. So any questions which you have in Ansible, I will help you. Okay.
Okay.
So this is a This is the deployment server configuration. I don't want to complicate your understanding because this is least used actually. That's the reason. So now you see that this is the terabyte of structure, which you see that good image, official image. So here you have a forwarding tier, a lot of sources going to the indexing tier, and then search it. Okay, so guys, this is a Splunk. Any questions anyone have?
Where will we get this slide? Is it possible that we can
I'll
get
send
it?
you. I'll send you all this thing through the WhatsApp group. So on the assignment, I'll send it to you through this. And so mind it here, I'm covering 3 tools. So Datadog for infra monitoring, for log monitoring Splunk, and for APM monitoring New Relic. But all these 3 tools you can use it for everything, for a complete observability. But why I'm covering only one part of it? Because the reason is very simple, and that is I want you to at least hands-on, not on one tool but all the tools. Okay, so I'll send you the assignment and all the details through the WhatsApp.